Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Doing some gamer talk, streamer talk, hour, talking about the news.
Late nights, long roads, tears along the way. We kept on believing just to reach today. Through every storm and every endless night, we held on to hope and chased the light. Now the future's growing brighter than before. We found our ways and we're ready to soar. Celebrate with SpiderTaz. Celebrate with SpiderTaz. Look how far we've come. Now our time has just begun. Celebrate with us. The adventure has begun.
I get the right one in there. Hey, Rico Killer. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Yeah. Gather around. It's the SpiderTaz night. From the first little string to the brightest light. We built this family one day at a time, with laughter, memories, and moments that shine. The prophet is bringing wisdom and care. Sick puppy standing guard, always there. Chip with the laughs and ready to play. GP and the known gamer lighting the way. But listen close, this story is bigger. Every supporter made the fire burn brighter. Every moderator keeping the peace. Every subscriber making the magic increase. From the quiet viewers watching the show to the chat that explodes when the energy flows. Every like, every comment, every share we see, all part of the SpiderTaz legacy. Boom, shakalaka. The sub train rolls, hear the whistle blow. More friends aboard everywhere we go. No matter your name, no matter your place, you help build this amazing space.
Yo. Lovers too.
Late nights gaming, victories and fails, crazy adventures, unbelievable tales. The journey continues, but ready I go fly. SpiderTaz family, reach the sky now. Hands up high, let the whole world stay. We're still together, and here to stay.
All right. Let's see here. We got a lot to cover up today. We're going to start out welcoming everybody to the stream. We're going to do some topics today. We're going to cover a lot. We got a big old elephant in the room topic going on here. There is an elephant in the room, if you don't know. There is one. Where's Chip at? Good morning. Hello. All right, let's see. All right, I want to know first off, is the game that you play getting better? Or are we paying for less? That's the question. Are the games that you playing getting better? Or are you paying for something that's less than what you should be paying for? What's your thought on that? I think things, War Robots getting better. They've gotten better ever since they started. I've been a player since day one. But yeah, okay. What do you think, Lonely Reaper? Where am I at? Oh, I'm not even on the screen. There we go. Get some movement. Where's that elephant at? Oh, Super Art. Getting some love there, baby. Well, I guess anybody want to talk about any of the elephant in the room? We'll just talk about something else. What about microtransactions? Like battle passes, $100 additions, and endless cash grabs changing game forever. Is that what's going on? Oh, it's okay, Lonely. It'll chip dealer will be here. I think he fell asleep waiting on me when I was sleeping. He probably figured, well, Taz is getting some sleep. I might as well get some sleep too. All right, well, what do you think, Lonely Reaper? Do you think battle passes for $100 and endless cash grabs, are they going to change the game forever? I think that it is, because they're going to be, there's people trying to mimic everything that everybody else is doing to make money. So yeah. Yeah, speaking of Chona, that's Chona, guys. She's got her own little song for me. Alright, well, let me turn him on. There we go. No. That ain't the right one. Ah, there he is. Alright, here comes the little spider, everybody. Alright, well, okay, so, I'm at 8 minutes. Just got a few minutes left on that topic. So, alright, well, our battle passes, $100 additions, and endless cash grabs changing the game forever. Okay. I guess no one's woke up yet. I'll be here in a minute. While we're waiting, can Rockstar survive the biggest hype explosion in the entertainment history? So they've been talking about updating for 10 years now, and I think they probably have missed some stuff and have gone back to update what they were gonna put out. So, and that's a lot of the reason why why it's taking them so long to come out with it, is because they're adding stuff to it every time they turn around. That under the frame. And so now when they come out, everything's gonna look good, but there's gonna be some stuff broken, I'm pretty sure. Because whenever you get a whole bunch of people, entering the same game at the same time, you're probably gonna have a lot of issues. Real world issues. So yeah, I'm thinking GTA 6 missed the step. All right, Call of Duty, Flak Jacket Chaos. Is the battlefield of innovation or another deployment of the same war with a different skin? Damn, I forgot to do everything this morning. More like chaos. Dirty dirt. Oh, Elf is on top of me. It's okay, we can move the elephant. Elephant is in the room. Welcome to the stream. We're currently talking about Call of Duty, and is it just a new skin that they put on the same game? Yeah, he's sad because he's sitting there. This elephant is sitting there. He's so huge, but no one's got anything to do with him. The thing about it is, right now you can go to powerhournews.com and find this exact stream right now. And that's the elephant in the room. Right now. There's a lot of other elephants in the room, but we're showing this one right now. Alright. Is Fortnite, is it still a game, or has it become a blueprint for the future of digital worlds? What do y'all think about that question? Them are hard-hitting questions right there. I'll probably go back over some of these. Anyway, all right, well, okay, so I don't see anybody say anything about that. Marvel Rival. The hero shooter war has begun. Oh crap! I hope this stream doesn't get caught up in the war robots because I put war in the description. This is stupid. Maybe that's what I need to make the stream about. Stupid companies doing stupid stuff. $1 million companies that can't do their business. That's what I should make the stream about. All right, well, okay. No, I'm gonna do. Already have it. Let's see. Good. Hang out. Chill. Do this. And thoughts. One of them babies out. There we go.
All aboard the YouTube subtrain. Every creator starts somewhere. One video, one subscriber, one viewer at a time. Most creators know the feeling. You upload a video, you share it everywhere you can, you watch the numbers, you hope people find it. Then you do it all over again, and over again, and over again. Because building a channel takes work, real work, the kind of work most people never see. The late nights, the editing, the live streams, the thumbnails, the endless search for ways to reach new viewers. But here's the thing. Growth doesn't have to be a solo journey. The SpiderTaz Creator Network, YT Subtrain, was built around a simple idea. Creators are stronger when they move forward together. Every creator who climbs aboard adds another car to the train. Every video adds momentum to your channel. Every profile creates another opportunity for your content to be discovered. Every connection expands your reach. Every viewer gained today can become a loyal supporter tomorrow. and every step forward creates new opportunities for future growth. The bigger the train becomes, the more momentum every creator aboard can benefit from. That's what makes the SpiderTaz Creator Network YT Subtrain different. This isn't about chasing the latest trend. This isn't about hoping an algorithm decides your future. This is about creating more opportunities for your content to be found, more opportunities for viewers to discover you, more opportunities for creators to connect, more opportunities for growth. Whether you're a gaming creator, a live streamer, a shorts creator, a commentator, an entertainer, an educator, or someone just starting their creator journey, there's a seat waiting for you. You don't need thousands of subscribers. You don't need a massive audience. You don't need to be famous. You just need the desire to keep moving forward, because every successful creator started exactly where you are. One video, one viewer, one subscriber at a time. But imagine where you could be a year from now if every video had more opportunities to work for you. Imagine where your channel could be if more people had the chance to discover your content. Imagine where your creator journey could go if you stopped building alone. That's what the YT Subtrain is all about. Creators helping creators. Momentum building momentum. Growth creating growth. One creator at a time, one video at a time, one opportunity at a time. So if you're ready to build something bigger, if you're ready to create more opportunities for your content, if you're ready to keep moving forward, get on the YT Subtrain. The train is moving, the community is growing, and there's always room for one more creator. Because at the end of the day, if you want more subs, get on the Subtrain.
That's Subtrain. YTSubtrain.com, baby. You want a sub? Go to the Subtrain. Oh, here's a nice one. Here's a nice video for everybody to watch. Okay. Put this one on. I think this is it. Close this up. Let me move this down. Work below. Go.
The birth of a new internet. There was a time when YouTube wasn't a career. It wasn't a business. There were no million-dollar studios, no teams of editors, no brand deals, and no endless chase for algorithms and analytics. There was simply a camera, a computer, an internet connection, and a person with an idea. Back in the early 2000s, the internet was a completely different place. It was strange, it was unpredictable, and most importantly, it felt personal. Nobody knew that a small website built around sharing videos would completely reshape entertainment forever. Nobody knew that ordinary people sitting in ordinary bedrooms would become some of the biggest stars in the world. They weren't trying to become celebrities. They were just having fun. And somehow, they changed everything. The first upload. Imagine the feeling. You record a silly video in your bedroom, you make a joke, you show your talent, you tell a story. Then you click upload. And suddenly, something that existed only inside your room could be seen by anyone, anywhere in the world. Today, that sounds normal, but back then, that was magic. For the first time in human history, millions of people had a stage without needing permission from a television station, a movie studio, or a record label. The gatekeepers were gone, the audience was waiting, and the world would never be the same. YouTube's humble beginnings. The first videos weren't polished. They weren't filmed in 4K. The audio wasn't perfect. Half the time, the camera quality looked like it was recorded through a potato. But nobody cared, because authenticity mattered more than perfection. People weren't looking for celebrities. They were looking for people like themselves. Someone who was funny, someone who was creative, someone who had something interesting to say. And that created a connection that traditional media had never been able to achieve. Old YouTube was chaos, beautiful chaos. One moment you could be watching a comedy sketch filmed with a webcam, the next a person performing music in their garage. Then suddenly you were watching something so weird that you had no idea why it had millions of views. There were no formulas. No one knew what would go viral. The biggest videos were often the ones nobody expected. That unpredictability made every click exciting. Every video felt like you had discovered a secret, and every creator had the chance to become the next internet legend. Nobody knew they were making history. The people creating those videos had no idea what they were starting. They were kids after school, college students in their dorm rooms, friends messing around with a camera, gamers recording themselves because they loved sharing their experiences. They weren't building companies, they weren't creating brands, they were simply creating. And that's exactly why so many people fell in love with them, because they felt real. The bedroom creator. The first generation of YouTubers didn't have expensive equipment. Their studios were their bedrooms. Their cameras were cheap. Their lighting was whatever happened to be available. Sometimes a desk lamp, sometimes sunlight coming through a window. Their special effects were creativity and determination. Every successful creator started with the simple thought: what if I put this online? That question created a revolution. The first viral moments. Before there were influencers, there were viral videos. Videos that spread through school hallways. Videos that people emailed to friends. Videos that were shared on forums and message boards. Someone would walk up to you and say, "You have to see this." And suddenly, millions of people around the world were laughing at the same joke, watching the same moment, sharing the same experience. The internet had become one giant living room. The first internet celebrities. Something incredible began happening. People started recognizing usernames. Not actors, not singers, not professional entertainers. Usernames. People waited for their favorite creators to upload. They quoted their jokes. They copied their catchphrases. They felt like they knew them. For the first time, ordinary people became celebrities simply by being themselves. A new era had arrived. The original creator setup. Look at those old creator setups today. A small room, a cheap webcam, a microphone that probably sounded terrible, a slow computer struggling to render a 5-minute video, and yet those simple rooms became the birthplace of an entirely new entertainment industry. The biggest studios in Hollywood had budgets worth millions of dollars, but some of the most memorable moments on the internet came from a teenager sitting at a desk with a dream. A world before algorithms. There was something special about that era. Creators made videos because they wanted to make them. Viewers watched videos because they stumbled across something interesting. There wasn't a strategy. There wasn't a blueprint. There was only creativity. It was an internet where the next big thing could come from anywhere. A bedroom, a garage, a dorm room, a basement, anywhere. And that is exactly what made old YouTube feel like magic. The first internet superstars. And then something happened that nobody saw coming. The people behind those grainy webcams and low-budget videos were no longer just random users on a website. They were becoming stars. Not because a movie studio discovered them, not because a television network gave them a show, but because millions of people around the world clicked a button that simply said, subscribe. That little button changed everything. For the first time, the audience had the power to decide who deserved attention. The biggest stars of this new world were not polished celebrities. They were ordinary people who felt like your friends. You grew up with them. You waited for their next upload. And every new video felt like a new episode of a show made just for you. Comedy takes over YouTube. Comedy became one of the first true languages of YouTube. Two friends with a camera could create something that reached millions of people. Ridiculous sketches, random jokes, parodies, crazy characters. The rules of traditional entertainment didn't exist here. There were no executives saying no, no expensive sets, no giant production crews, only imagination. Creators like Smosh showed the world that a simple idea, a few friends, and a camera could compete with professional entertainment, and millions of viewers proved them right. The late night creator. Behind every viral video was something people rarely saw: the work, the late nights, the endless editing, the failed recordings, the videos that nobody watched. Many early creators were students. They would spend the entire day at school or work, then come home and spend the night filming, editing, and uploading. Sometimes they would be awake until sunrise, not because they were getting paid, not because they expected fame, but because they loved creating. And that passion became the foundation of the entire creator economy. The first global communities. Something even more incredible was happening behind the scenes. A kid in America could watch someone in Japan. A teenager in Europe could laugh at a creator in Australia. People who would have never met in the real world were suddenly sharing the same jokes, the same videos, the same moments. For the first time, millions of strangers were gathering around creators, forming communities that crossed borders and cultures. The internet was no longer just information. It had become a place where people belonged. The viral chain reaction. Before social media feeds controlled what everyone saw, videos traveled in a much more human way. A friend sent you a link. Someone showed you a video during lunch. You discovered a creator because someone said, "Trust me, you have to watch this." That excitement was different. You felt like you found something special, like you were part of a secret club before the rest of the world discovered it. And sometimes, you actually were. The age of characters. Some creators became famous simply because they created personalities nobody could forget. Strange voices, over-the-top reactions, wild costumes, completely ridiculous ideas. Characters that made no sense to anyone outside of the internet. And somehow, they became worldwide sensations. The amazing thing about the early YouTube was that nobody could predict what would succeed. The weirdest ideas often became the biggest. The internet didn't reward perfection. It rewarded originality. The bedroom becomes a studio. Slowly, the impossible started becoming real. That old webcam was replaced by a better camera. The desk lamp turned into professional lighting. The cheap microphone became a complete recording setup. What started as a hobby was becoming a career. The bedrooms where these creators began were transforming into the first generation of independent studios. A new type of entrepreneur was being born, the content creator. The million subscriber dream. Today, 1 million subscribers is an incredible achievement, but in the early days of YouTube, it felt impossible. 1 million people, 1 million human beings choosing to follow a person who started with nothing but an idea. The first creators who reached that milestone proved something the world had never seen before. A person with no connections, no company, and no traditional support could build an audience bigger than many television shows. The internet had created a new kind of superstar. The dream spreads. Once people realized that ordinary individuals could become successful online, everything changed. A generation looked at YouTube and thought, maybe I can do that. Kids picked up cameras. Gamers started recording. Musicians uploaded songs. Artists showed their creations. Teachers shared knowledge. The internet opened its doors to everyone, and millions of people walked through them. The creator revolution. By the end of the first wave of YouTube, something unbelievable had happened. A website that started as a place to share random videos had become a completely new form of entertainment. The old rules were broken. Hollywood no longer controlled who could become famous. Television no longer decided what people would watch. The audience had taken control. and a new generation of creators was ready to push YouTube even further. But the next chapter would take things to a level nobody could have imagined. The gamers were coming, the personalities were getting bigger, the audiences were growing into the millions, and the age of YouTube's biggest legends was just beginning. A new player has entered the game. By the late 2000s and early 2010s, a completely different kind of creator began to take over YouTube: the gamers. At first, many people didn't understand it. Why would anyone watch someone else play a video game? That question would be asked millions of times. Parents didn't understand it. Television didn't understand it. Even many gamers didn't understand it. But the people watching knew something everyone else didn't. They weren't just watching the game. They were watching the person behind the controller. The jokes, the reactions, the stories, the victories, the failures, the personality. Gaming videos transformed video games from something you played alone into something you experienced together. And a new empire was about to be built. The birth of the Let's Play. The Let's Play changed everything. A person sitting in a room with a microphone and the game on the screen somehow became one of the most entertaining formats on the internet. The creator became your teammate, your friend, the person sitting next to you on the couch. When they were scared, you were scared. When they laughed, you laughed. When they failed spectacularly, you laughed even harder. A simple recording turned into a shared experience between millions of strangers around the world, and some of the biggest stars YouTube had ever seen were about to emerge. The humble gaming setup. Look back at the early gaming setups. They weren't the glowing rooms with thousands of dollars in equipment we see today. They were messy bedrooms, cheap microphones, old headsets, a computer that struggled to record and render video, cables everywhere, energy drinks stacked on the desk, a chair that probably should have been replaced years ago. And yet, from those tiny rooms came creators who would entertain hundreds of millions of people. It wasn't the equipment that mattered. It was the person using it. A community is born. Gaming YouTube did something special. It created communities, not audiences. Communities. People didn't just show up to watch a video. They returned day after day because they felt like they were part of something. They learned inside jokes. They repeated catchphrases. They celebrated milestones together. They watched creators grow up, and creators watched their communities grow alongside them. For many people, those comment sections became places where friendships were formed and memories were made. The new kings of entertainment. Then came the creators who would redefine what internet fame looked like. People who began with almost nothing and built audiences larger than many television networks. Creators like PewDiePie showed the world that gaming could be more than a hobby. His exaggerated reactions, humor, and connection with his audience turned him into one of the most recognized names on the internet. Then came creators like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, who built massive communities around personality, positivity, and the simple idea of sharing an experience with millions of people. They weren't actors. They weren't celebrities created by a studio. They were people who pressed record and invited the world into their room. And the world showed up. The era of the scream. Some of the most iconic moments in YouTube history came from fear. A dark room, a horror game, a pair of headphones, and a creator who was absolutely not ready for what was about to happen. Those moments became legendary. The screams, the panic, the chair jumping backward, the headset flying across the room. Millions of viewers were watching not because they cared what happened in the game. They cared about the human reaction. It was real, unscripted, and impossible to fake. But behind every success story was something the audience rarely saw. The grind. The creator who recorded for 6 hours just to use 10 minutes of footage. The editor who spent all night cutting clips together. The person refreshing the upload page, hoping people would watch. The excitement of seeing a video succeed. The disappointment of seeing one fail. The constant question, what can I create next? Many creators spent years making videos before they saw any financial success. They continued because they loved it, and that passion was what made audiences connect with them. From hobby to career, eventually something that seemed impossible became reality. People were paying rent from YouTube, buying houses, supporting their families, hiring teams, building businesses. The idea that someone could make a living by talking to a camera in their bedroom had gone from a joke to a legitimate career. The world had changed, and the next generation no longer asked, "Can someone make money doing YouTube?" They asked, "How can I become a YouTuber?" The first digital entrepreneurs. The early YouTube stars were more than entertainers. They were pioneers. They were figuring out an industry that did not exist. There were no classes teaching how to become a creator, no guides explaining the perfect upload strategy, no roadmap. They learned through failure. They experimented, they adapted, and by doing so, they created the blueprint that millions of future creators would follow. The gold rush. By the middle of the 2010s, the secret was out. Everyone wanted a piece of YouTube. Kids dreamed of becoming creators the same way previous generations dreamed of becoming movie stars, athletes, or musicians. Millions of channels appeared, new genres exploded, competition grew. The platform that once felt like a small neighborhood had become a massive city filled with creators fighting to be discovered. The gold rush had begun, but with growth came change. More money, more competition, more pressure. The simple world of old YouTube was starting to disappear. The playground was becoming an industry, and the algorithm was about to become the most powerful force the platform had ever seen.
The new Hollywood. By the mid-2010s, something unbelievable had happened. The little website where people uploaded random videos after school had become one of the biggest entertainment platforms in human history. The creators who once filmed in their bedrooms were now building professional studios. They had teams, editors, producers, managers, writers, entire companies built around a single person who started with a camera and a dream. A teenager with a webcam could now compete with television networks that had been around for decades. The impossible had become normal. The world had entered a new era, the era of the creator. The subscriber wars. As YouTube grew, so did the competition. Subscriber counts became more than just numbers. They became trophies, symbols of influence, proof that millions of people had chosen to spend part of their lives watching someone create. Entire communities rallied behind their favorite creators. Every milestone became a celebration. Every million subscribers felt like a historic moment. Some rivalries became internet events watched by people all over the world. Fans celebrated, they debated, they defended their favorite creators. It was a new kind of entertainment, not just the videos themselves, but the community surrounding them. The creator becomes the company. The early YouTubers were filmmakers, comedians, gamers, musicians, and storytellers, but now they also had to become entrepreneurs. They learned marketing, business, brand building, merchandise, partnerships. They hired employees, built studios, created products. Some channels transformed into organizations with dozens of people working behind the scenes. The person sitting alone in a bedroom had evolved into a digital media company. A new type of business had been born.
The dream milestones. For the creators who started with nothing, there were moments that proved how far they had come. The first 1,000 subscribers, the first viral video, the first time a stranger recognized them in public, the first paycheck, the first opportunity to do what they loved full time. And for many creators, receiving a YouTube award was a reminder of the journey. Not just a number, not just a milestone, but proof of years of dedication, failure, experimentation, and persistence. Behind every achievement were hundreds of videos nobody remembers, hours of work nobody saw, and countless moments when the creator wondered if they should quit. A life beyond the screen. Success opened doors that many early creators never imagined. Traveling the world, meeting fans, attending events, collaborating with people they once watched themselves. A person who started by talking to a camera in a small room could suddenly stand on stages in front of thousands. The internet had rewritten the rules of fame. The distance between creator and audience had disappeared, and that connection became the greatest strength of YouTube. The machine arrives. But every revolution eventually changes. As more creators joined the platform, YouTube had a new problem. There was too much content. Millions of videos, millions of voices, millions of people all competing for attention. A system had to decide what viewers would see, and that system became the algorithm. The algorithm was not a villain. It was a tool, a machine designed to understand what people wanted to watch. But it also changed the way creators thought.
Chasing the numbers. In the early days, many creators uploaded whatever they wanted. If they had an idea, they made it. But as the platform matured, numbers became impossible to ignore. Views, watch time, click-through rate, audience retention. The analytics dashboard became something creators checked every day. For some, it became a valuable guide. For others, it became a source of constant pressure. A creator could spend weeks making a video they loved, only to watch it disappear. Meanwhile, another video made in an afternoon might reach millions. The mystery of what worked became the new challenge. The battle for attention. The internet that once felt like a quiet neighborhood had become a city with billions of people. Every day, thousands of hours of content were uploaded. Every creator was competing for one thing: attention. Thumbnails became more dramatic, titles became more strategic, editing became faster, production quality became higher. Creators were no longer competing against the person next door, they were competing against the entire world. The forgotten pioneers. With every new generation, some legends fade into the background. The creators who built the foundation of YouTube grew older, their lives changed. Some moved on, some changed careers, some continued creating for smaller but loyal communities. New audiences discovered new stars and never knew the names that came before. But the truth is, the modern creator world stands on the shoulders of those early pioneers. Every stream, every podcast, every reaction video, every gaming channel, every independent creator making a living online, all of it traces back to the people who picked up a cheap camera and uploaded a video when nobody believed it could matter.
The end of an era. There is something impossible to recreate about old YouTube. It wasn't better because the cameras were better. They weren't. The video quality was terrible. The microphones sounded awful. The editing was rough. The websites were messy. But there was something that existed in those early days that cannot be manufactured. A sense of discovery. A feeling that anyone, anywhere, could become the next big thing. You would click on a random video and discover someone you had never heard of. And years later, that person might become a global star. Old YouTube was not perfect. It was chaotic. It was weird. Sometimes it was ridiculous. But it was real. And that is why millions of people still remember it with a smile. The last upload. Every creator's journey has a moment they never think about in the beginning. The last video. The final upload. The day they turn off the camera and walk away. For many of the creators who defined the early days of YouTube, that moment came quietly. There was no grand announcement, no final episode, no dramatic farewell. Life simply moved forward. The kid making videos after school grew up. College happened. Careers happened. Families happened. The passions that once filled every free moment became memories of a different chapter in life. And somewhere on YouTube, their old videos remain. A digital time capsule. A record of who they were. A piece of internet history that can still be visited years later. The ghosts of old channels. There is a strange feeling that comes from finding an old YouTube channel you watched as a kid. You search for a name you haven't thought about in years. You click the channel, and there it is. The same profile picture, the same old videos, the same jokes, the same comments from people who watched them at the same time you did. But the last upload says, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even longer. It feels like walking through an abandoned neighborhood where you grew up. The buildings are still standing, but the people have moved on. Those channels are not forgotten. They are monuments. They represent a time when the internet felt smaller, more personal, more human.
The creators grew up with us. One of the most unique things about YouTube was that we didn't just watch creators, we grew up with them. We watched them change, we watched them succeed, we watched them fail, we watched them become adults. And while they were changing, so were we. The teenager who rushed home from school to watch a new upload now has a career, a family, responsibilities, a completely different life. Yet one old video can instantly transport us back to our bedroom, back to our childhood, back to a time when our biggest concern was whether our favorite creator uploaded that day. That is the power of nostalgia.
The audience that never left. The creators may have changed. The platform may have changed. But the memories remained. Millions of people still revisit those old videos. They still quote the jokes. They still remember the catchphrases. They still tell stories about the creators who made them laugh during difficult times. Because old YouTube was never just entertainment. For many people, it was a companion, a place to escape, a place to feel understood, a place where someone sitting alone in their room could feel connected to millions of other people around the world. The new generation. The story did not end with old YouTube. A new generation arrived. Better cameras, better microphones, bigger ideas, larger productions, new forms of storytelling. The creators of today are doing things that the pioneers of 2005 could never have imagined. Entire movies are being produced for YouTube. Massive live events are streamed to millions. Studios with hundreds of employees are built around creators. The dream became larger than anyone expected. But none of it happened by accident. The foundation they built. Every modern creator is walking a path built by someone who came before. The gamers, the comedians, the musicians, the vloggers, the educators, the people who sat in bedrooms with terrible webcams and asked a simple question. What happens if I upload this? They experimented when there was no guidebook. They failed when nobody was watching. They created something new when the world didn't understand what they were doing. They were the first explorers of a new digital world, a place that can never exist again. And that is why old YouTube is remembered differently. Not because it was perfect, it wasn't. The videos were blurry, the audio was terrible, the editing was awkward, the website itself was chaotic. But the internet was still discovering what it could become. There were no rules, no expectations, no guaranteed formula for success. A random person could upload a strange, funny, creative, or completely ridiculous idea and wake up the next morning with millions of people watching. That feeling was magical, and it can never truly be recreated. The digital monuments. When people talk about the history of entertainment, they remember the great filmmakers, the legendary musicians, the famous actors. And one day, the world will remember the first YouTubers in the same way. Not because they had the best equipment, not because they had huge budgets, but because they were the first to prove that ordinary people could become extraordinary storytellers. They created a new stage for humanity, one where anyone could step into the spotlight. The journey that started with a simple video upload in 2005 is still moving forward. Every new creator who presses record today is connected to that same moment. Every streamer going live, every gamer recording a reaction, every artist sharing their work, every person with a dream and a camera. They are all continuing a story that began in a small corner of the internet many years ago. The technology changed, the platforms evolved, the audiences became larger, but the heart of creating remains the same. A person, an idea, and the courage to share it with the world. The final goodbye. So the next time you find yourself watching an old video from the early days of YouTube, take a moment. Look at the grainy camera, the bad microphone, the awkward editing, the small room where it was recorded, because inside that imperfect little video was something that changed the world. A dream, a risk, a person who believed that maybe, just maybe, someone out there would watch. And millions did. Old YouTube may never come back. The internet has grown. The world has moved on. But the memories remain, frozen in millions of videos, waiting for someone to click play one more time. Because before the empires, before the algorithms, before the million-dollar studios, there was a person, a camera, and a dream. And that was enough.
Hey, everybody. We done with that? All right, sounds good. We are working on lots of stuff here. Trying to get with a lot of different companies doing a lot of different stuff. Appreciate y'all for being here, and hope y'all enjoyed those videos that I showed y'all today. You might not have seen them otherwise. So yeah, thank you. Even if it's just fair weather. Oh well, yeah. I couldn't do a stream yesterday because they messed up and categorized one of my videos wrong on Creator Programs website. So my average got jacked up, so I couldn't do a stream yesterday because of that. Not my fault. Howdy 5000 G. I'll talk to you later, man. I think I got the wrong one in here. Yep. To dealer. I ain't leaving. I'm leaving.
Late nights, long roads, tears along the way. We kept on believing just to reach today. Through every storm and every endless night, we held on to hope and chased the light. Now the future's calling brighter than before. We found star wings and we're ready to soar. Celebrate with SpiderTaz.
I figured you went to sleep, bub. It's okay, cute.
Look how far we've come. Now our time has just begun. Celebrate with us.
Oh, it went alright.
The adventure has begun. Capture the sky, dreams taking flight. We found our wings. Watch us rise, no looking back. We're reaching high. This is our moment in the sky. From a single voice to thousands strong, opening every brand new door. Every laugh, every game, every memory made. The moment built forever stay. The fire is burning, the engines roar. We're making an ignition of the swimming pool for the experiment. Traps, stop the tonic up with the bad boom shakalaka. Raise your voices light the night. The local ticket suit. Weddings update. Celebrate with fire, surge. Hands up high, our heels. The finish line, another saw sunrise. World goes on slowly. Now is our time to fly. Celebrate with Microtransactions.
Howdy 5000 G.